Good afternoon. My name is Millie Arriaga, and I'll be giving a speech about Hitler and his doings by using pathos, ethos, and logos. To begin with, rhetorical devices are used to convey the meaning with the goal of persuading the audience towards the topic from a perspective. The rhetorical devices being used are pathos, ethos, and logos. Pathos is using an emotional appeal. Ethos is using an ethical appeal. And logos is using an appeal to logic. Today, we'll be starting with logos. This device is used because it appeals to logic by using facts. This means that the Treaty of Versailles was signed specifically for the reparation of the U.S. for its damage of the war. Germany was required to pay 132 billion gold marks. This meant that it was 33 billion that they owed to the U.S. The war caused so much damage which led to extended expenses. The information given in the text states, the Treaty of Versailles, which was signed in 1919, and the 1921 London Schedule of Payments required Germany to pay 132 billion gold marks, which is 33 billion in the US, reparation to cover civilian damage caused during the war. This matters because the war caused so much destruction that billions of dollars were taken from Germany to repair the damages made in the U.S. It's also important because 1919 through 1921 was when London scheduled the payments that were required from Germany. This is because they were responsible for this catastrophe. This also matters because it would cover the expenses for the civilian damage. To conclude, logos is used to persuade the audience by using logic and reasoning such as statistics and facts. This means that Germany was to pay 23 million. This is specifically for machinery and manufacturing plants. It was used for this because German reparations were supposed to be in the form of force. This was focused on getting more money in order to stop Germany from continuing to repair. An important fact that has been stated is Germany was to pay the live 23 million US money mainly in machinery and manufacturing plants. Reparations to the store to stop the 1953 German reparations that were partly to be in the form of force. This matters because 23 million is a large amount when it comes to machinery and plants. This is mainly because Germany was involved with its reparations. However, this occurred to stop them from being in the force. They owed this amount of reparations because of how much they spent. Therefore, logos was used by using statistics and facts to prove their reasoning to this matter. Next, we will be discussing ethos. Ethos is used to describe the guiding beliefs or ideals that characterize a community, nation, or ideology. This means that Hitler believed in the master race, meaning that he thought they were superior. Many groups were mandated to be executed or be put in concentration camps. Victims of these groups included the Jews, homosexuals, alcoholics, the deaf, as well as physically and mentally disabled people. These people were viewed as a disturbance to society. His beliefs led to lots of casualties and bloodshed upon groups of people that didn't fit his standards. In addition, it's stated in the text, the Nazis were against the Jews, the gypsies, the deaf, the blind, the physically disabled, the mentally ill, and the alcoholics. Adolf Hitler wanted to eliminate these people because they were racially, socially, physically, and genetically defective. This matters because the master race was known as those who are blue-eyed, blonde-haired, of Nordic stock, or Aryans. Hitler believed they had the right to declare who was worthy of life and who was not, who was to be maimed by sterilization or experimented upon in the interest of attaining racial purity, and who was to be used as slave labor to further the Nazi empire. Hitler's beliefs led to oppression to those who were seen as less worthy to him. This is important because he was the reason why these people were portrayed as the enemy of all classes of society. So, ethos is used to distinguish a person by looking at their beliefs. Pathos is used for when the author is trying to convince the audience by appealing to their emotions. This means that Hitler was all in for it. For instance, Hitler oppressed his community to dislike others who were seen as imperfect. Those who didn't have blue eyes or white skin were immediately a problem to him. He didn't want them to be alive. Hitler especially had a problem with the Jews. Hitler had so many Jews killed in concentration camps. To add on, it's stated, They were given the choice of sterilization, castration, or incarnation in a concentration camp. 300,000 German Aryans were sterilized and others were gassed under a law passed in July 14, 1933. It was the Law of Prevention of Genetically Diseased Offspring. This matters because so many innocent lives were killed and lost. These people had no choice. They had to be sterilized. This meant they had no opportunity of having kids of their own someday. However, for some, sterilization was not an option. They were gassed and killed. They were tortured in these concentration camps as well. The law prevented Jews and other groups from not having kids. Pathos was used throughout this because so many innocent lives were lost, which is horrendous. Pathos is also used to convince people with an argument drawn out through an emotional response. This matters because Hitler was oppressing the community. He did this so they can believe what he was doing was right. This is master manipulation. He saw the people who were not superior as an abomination. He enforced so many executions. They all suffered, and the conditions of these places were horrible. However, this wasn't wrong according to Hitler because he was getting rid of the defective. The text stated this by using the hatred towards communism and Judaism. He aimed to eradicate both from Germany and moreover stressed his intention to unite all Germans in the process of destroying them. This means that Hitler wanted to eliminate these people, although it was mainly hatred towards the Jewish. He wanted these people gone permanently. He wanted the master race to expand, so in order to do that, he had to get rid of the problem first. He would do anything to get rid of them. He would do any measures for this. Therefore, pathos was used by appealing to emotion, and this right here was dreadful. In conclusion, pathos, ethos, and logos are rhetorical devices used to convince the audience towards a certain topic. Logos uses the appeal to logic by using statistics and facts to prove a point. Ethos uses an ethical appeal, such as the author's credibility or beliefs. And lastly, pathos uses an emotional appeal by making them feel any form of emotion. My name is Millie Arriaga. Thank you for watching.